Hello world, and welcome back to another episode of Majapahit Marauders. Similar to yesterday's episode, we will be starting off this one with a war declaration, although, interestingly enough, we have an idea group to choose. I'm going to leave that alone for the time being. We'll get back to that later. For now, let's get to war. Navy's moving out, Army's moving in. Stack wipe, I would expect nothing less. It's a level 1 coastal fort, so there's no reason that McGuindanao can't handle it all on his own. And so I will leave him to do that while I go kill people. How strong are their armies together? Tondo and Manila have 12,000. 15,000. We have 14, but we have a better general. And if they remain isolated, if they wait to reinforce, that can definitely be to our advantage. It could be more than enough to allow us to win. General's significantly worse. They're on coastline, which is a... Ooh, don't like that. There. Let's see. Yeah, I should have retreated a little faster in that battle. However, the nice thing is, since we have naval dominance here, they shouldn't be able to follow us, and that's really bad. Did their other allies... Yep, the other allies joined in. So, we aren't completely alone in fighting them. Is this simply the conquest of Cebu? It is. Maybe it's not all bad then. Will be if we let them take all the sieges, though. Man, this sucks. That did not go as planned. Not one bit. And we keep getting ambushed by rebels here. Well, natives, not rebels, quite. Happened in every single province. That irks me. Just a little bit. Go ahead, help me siege it. Thank you. That's a shame. Hopefully he fabricates this claim on... He has fabricated that claim on Butuan. So, this could actually end up working into our favor. Somewhat. I mean, it means we're going to have to keep this war going a lot longer, and we are going to burn through some more manpower. Don't have any professionalism to slacken standards on. Gonna keep things moving, though. Hopefully we win this siege race, and so he doesn't come to, Actually, now that I think about it, I should be helping to blockade for my siege rather than theirs. But hopefully we win this siege race before they do, and that way we don't have to worry about them coming and reinforcing it. And if we so choose, we could reinforce, although I think it would be more efficient just to push them out of the war. And if we win this siege, as we just did, it's going to be much faster to win this one. Honestly, I think they're full blockaded as is. Nope, they all decided to leave. They're like, I'm good. Making sure we don't lose priority, although no one else was sitting on it. Sulu, yes, Sulu, I forgot about them. It's a good thing their navy's getting trounced over here, because I would hate myself if they had somehow managed to sneakily land on my capital and just siege it down when I wasn't paying any attention. That would upset me very much. Yep, you don't need to worry about that. There we go, see? Look at Butuan. He's so nice, he's just blockading them for us. Let's improve with Champa. Maybe we'll reach a point where there'll be a point in time where Brunei won't be willing to reinforce. Kutai is invading Sulu. Because they were called in by Madhyas. That is awesome. That's funny. Looks like I've gotten a ton of ships from boarding. We weren't the first ones in that battle, so we took pretty much no casualties. Alright, so Madhyas would still accept. Alright. So it would only be the navies of Madhyas and Butuan. So Madhyas 13, 10, 3, and Butuan 12. Again, we're in a situation where our composition is better than theirs, and in this case we actually outnumber them as well. That give us a leg up on them tech-wise? It does. Awesome. One thing we don't have is numbers, necessarily. Where's our navy? Sitting right here where we want it. Awesome. Where's the Manguindanao army? They're trying to land on Sudu. They're suiciding. That's what they're doing. Yay. Transfer subjects. Anyone have any interesting subjects near here? Anyone at all we can just steal your vassals from. I mean, I guess we could invade Ming and steal all their tributaries, but doesn't really seem like the smartest move at the moment. AE still isn't a concern, so that leaves really two choices: the boost to combat and the war taxes. Our capital is in Grasslands, and that's not super common, so war taxes it is. Problem with war taxes, though, is I think this is a very common problem, but I forget to actually use them. Because it's so rare that I actually would use it regardless of if it weren't for having them for free. Okay, I should start piecing these people out. I could inherit this war. I'd rather not. I don't want to just... Yeah, I don't want to take them on all at once. Unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to we're not gonna get anything in terms of land out of this war. We're gonna have to let that be. So we're gonna let that go. I mean, it's a real kick in the teeth for sure, but I mean, what are we gonna do? Not much. Just gonna take our prestige and money and run. What can we build? Of course, we dev pushed that, so it's gonna have pretty solid stats. I like to keep around about 200 in the treasury at this point in the game as a war chest. Just in case things go wrong, I don't get immediately pushed into debt. Yeah, and I think I'm just gonna peace out of this war. As soon as the diplomat gets back, we're going to declare on Butuan. Yep, that fight's good navally. Oh, our poor vassal. Should we reinforce him? I mean, he doesn't necessarily need it, but I'm gonna do it just in... Actually, no, I think it's more important to hold dominance so they can't move their troops around. Yeah, you do that, Megwinda, now. That way you don't just start running around and suiciding yourself. Like you did to Sulu. Did our troops just lose that? Yeah, they did, and I don't know why. Okay. Well, that's not important. What's our new... That's useful. Again, that's one that helps you snowball a bit better. So we have consolidation of power versus frequent elections. Perhaps right now is actually a good time to stop and talk about... We'll put the war on pause here for a second. Now is probably a good time to talk about where we want to go with our ideas, with our government. So frequent elections helps a lot because it allows you to boost up your monarch stats faster. So it goes a quarter or a fifth faster depending on what you choose. I suppose it depends on your perspective. It's 1/5 faster than doing it like this. Oh, I don't know how the math works, but anyways, you boost up your monarch stats faster. However, that also ends up costing you more Republican tradition to do so. And you lose out on absolutism. And absolutism is a pretty nice mechanic to have. It's something that you definitely want working in your favor. And so I think this is what I'm going to take. Now, our second idea group, or not our second decision here is a choice of idea group. There's a lot to choose from here. So overall, what is this area good for? Trade. That much is obvious. It's good for trade. So trade ideas is it's a really solid pick. However, we already have a very stable economy. I mean, we're reinforcing troops right now, and we're still making money. And on the other hand, once you control all of the provinces in a node, trade ideas doesn't do all that much for you. It helps for boosting trade into the node, but as far as a first pick, I mean, right now we don't even... We can't... The only nodes we can push through is we're going to have control of Malacca at some point. But for now, we can push from the Philippines into the Moluccas, and that's it. Because we haven't even discovered, I think it's the Australian node. It might be something different. Maybe it's Oceania. But point remains, trade isn't that great for this pick. Influence is always a great pick. That liberty, desire, and subjects, the Diplo annex cost, it's all really solid. However, I have a different idea in mind. So that's one good pick. We'll move on to the other stuff in a second. Now, in military idea groups, we have plutocratic. This is less of a military idea group, even though you use military points to do it. Because it's more an all-round idea group, and it does give really powerful bonuses. And the 10% morale of our enemies is a military bonus, but it's not the main focus of the group. The main focus is administration and trade. We have national unrest, -2, which is amazing. You stack that with humanist, it's -4, which is, yeah, it's brilliant. And then you have goods produced modifier plus 10%, solid. Combine that with caravan power. It's mostly trade and administration focused, but you do get manpower recovery speed, which is sort of, it helps as sort of like a quantity light. And actually, I found that I tend not to take quantity ideas anymore, because I prefer to just have, I prefer quality and defensive and offensive. I prefer the ability to kill my opponent more than the ability to have manpower fixes and the defensive bonuses that this gives. The thing is, I find that when I take quality idea groups, and I don't mean quality specifically, I mean idea groups that improve the quality of my army, I end up having more than enough manpower anyways, because I just kill them faster. And so quantity isn't necessarily a need. In our situation, quality is the best idea group for us to take because it gives bonuses to ships as well. They're not super strong bonuses, but they're enough that it helps out our situation. Plus, the army tradition is just always welcome. And now in the administrative camp, we have, as main contenders, obviously humanist or religious. Probably humanist is typically the more objectively valuable idea group, because it helps prevent rebels, and it essentially eliminates the mechanic of religious unity. Administrative ideas, for obvious reasons, core creation cost -25%. Expansion ideas they're more niche than anything else. Economic ideas are great for when your economy relies on gold because of the yearly inflation reduction. Which is, it's stronger. You would think that one idea out of a group wouldn't be able to make that much of a difference, especially an idea like this, but it does. It's the difference between having to spend the extra admin points to buy down every 10 years and just having it taken care of. Development cost is also another. If you're going tall, you need economic ideas. But in our situation, probably not that great, at least not right now. And innovative ideas are always strong, especially the earlier you take them, the better, because the more you get to make use of the reduction to mana costs. So, oh, and also optimism is just amazing. It's always good to have. It lets you be at perpetual war without worrying. Advisor cost minus 25%, another decent bonus. However, the idea group that we will be taking is exploration, because the strategy that the majority of this campaign, or probably about half this campaign, is focused around relies on exploration. However, I won't be revealing what that strategy is to you right now. In fact, that's all we have time for today. Thank you guys for your viewership. If you have any comments or criticism, please leave them down below. I'm not made of glass. Anything you say won't hurt me. It can only help the channel. And so with that said, goodbye world, and I'll see you next time.